From Charleston County to Columbia, Elder James Johnson sits down with me one-on-one for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Elder Johnson.
Good to see you. Happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas.
Likewise.
Okay.
The last time I saw you was maybe a week ago.
Well, about a week ago, right?
Right outside the federal courthouse where the sentencing from Michael Pfleger was handed down.
Exactly.
Let me stop right there because I'm wondering, 20 years, what does that tell you?
Well, it sends a strong message across the country that black life do matter. This is the longest sentence, the second longest sentence of a police officer for killing a black man. I was in the court the whole 4 days, and what the judge did, he went along the guideline of sentencing.
Right.
Civil rights violation.
Right.
19 years, and he put an extra year in it for lying. So he got 20 years.
Wow. Where are you emotionally with that news?
Well, I'm okay with it, I'll be honest with you. Most people were thinking that it would be anywhere from 12 to 13 years.
Right.
I'm all right with it. Mike Pfleger still have a life. He would be around 57 years old when he get out of jail. And I understand that they do give 54 days per year for good behavior. So, 20 years times 54, if you don't have any problem, you get out before that time. But it has sent a strong message around the world, and I'm all right with it. Nothing we can do about it right now. It's just that what we need to do right now is focus on North Charleston Police Department and the county on this could have been prevented if Mayor Summy had decided to really train his policemen in what they were doing in the black community. They waited until this happened. Now all of a sudden, they got citizen review boards and all that, but they had an opportunity to do that 20 years ago because we talked about it, some years back,
right,
that it needed this, but that North Charleston was beating head and killing people, and it needed a change. And right before Michael Pfleger, I remember Mayor Summy said he wasn't going to change the aggressive type policing that North Charleston were doing, and that's what led into this. Michael Pfleger killing Walter Scott.
Now, as you know, you and I read the article from the Charleston Chronicle that basically talks about racial disparities within the police department, North Charleston, and as well as the Charleston County Sheriff's Office. Mm-hmm. What does those numbers that is tell you?
We were constantly talking about North Charleston and the city of Charleston, our police department, but we overlooked the county. And the county itself, diversity is almost at zero within the county. Charleston County Sheriff's Department. Out of 71 command posts in Charleston County Sheriff's Department, there is 60 white male, 4 black male, and 6 female. You have no sergeants black. You have 1 a major. You have 1 lieutenant. We had a meeting with Al Cannon on last week saying that cannot fly. What happened here? When Al Cannon got elected in 1988, they had more blacks in the command posts in 1988 than they have now. Al Cannon dropped the ball from 1988 to now with those numbers, and they only have 46 blacks officers out of over 350 officers, only 46. So that tells me that good old white boy system is there in the police department, and that has to change. Right now with the numbers, there's ground for the discrimination lawsuit, and National Action Network will file that lawsuit if we can't get this thing in order.
Why the gap?
You got to ask Al Cannon that. The police department always been a white organization, so they claim that they can't find black police officers to fill these positions. But I beg the difference. Richland County has their blacks, much blacks in their sheriff's department, and the command post is staffed with blacks. Columbia City Police Department has blacks in that police department, And this command staff is staffed with black. So what they telling myself and Ed Bryant and Dixon in the meeting last week that they can't find blacks to fill those positions. They don't want blacks in that sheriff department. That's going to have to change. 2018's, Mr. Washington, is going to be a different year. National Action Network has its agenda, and its agenda is addressing a whole lot of issues within Charleston, Dorchester, and Berkeley County. And, so they might as well be prepared for it. We're not going to sit back and allow them to continue driving this good old white boy system when our kids who's growing up won't have anything because they're still trying to hold on to that system.
I got two questions to ask you, then I'll go to 75 Calhoun. But what else is on your agenda for 2018?
On my agenda for 2018 is the Democratic Party. That election in Alabama sent a strong message to the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has been ignoring blacks for so many years, especially here in South Carolina. Now we know that engine that drives the Democratic Party is black women. They know that now. They must invest in the black community because we can pull them across the line every time if they invest in the community, get these black folks registered to vote, give these black females, they do. I challenge all people, black people, especially black females, to run for these offices. Run for North Charleston City Council. Run for Charleston County Council. Run for the position down here in the city of Charleston. Black females run for these positions because your vote means a whole lot. And we know the black women votes more democratically than any ethnic group in America. Any ethnic groups in America. And that sends a strong message. The Democratic Party in Alabama, they waked up, they know. They could not, Mr. Jones could not have won that election without the black females.
You talk about vote, you talk about strong message. Let me take you to 75 Calhoun. This particular column, I believe it was, an editorial, was written, I believe, with Dot Scott, Jill Darby, and Educational Chair Stephen Kofer Shabika. Apparently, they say this, quote, Dr. Postaway has shown leadership as Charleston County School District Superintendent. So how does the leadership look like in your mind?
Not good at all. I don't know where that comes from. Look at the numbers for the past 3 years. 2015, 16 numbers, and even 16 numbers is worse than in 15 numbers when it comes to blacks. Blacks are failing in Charleston County School big time. So I don't see where she's doing that a great job in Charleston County when we got these numbers. These numbers for blacks, failing. In 2015, you had 82% failing math, 86% failing reading. It's even higher now.
Okay, what part of it is Dr. Postaway, and what part of it is the problem with the school board?
Well, let me ask you this: have Dr. Wade put forth new programs that's going to change those numbers since 2014? If she did that, where her best teachers at in Mount Pleasant, in Sullivan's Island. She's not down here in the field in school. So nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. You still have North Charleston High School failing. They want to close Garrett. And seem like to me, I don't see where a good report on Dr. Postaway this year come from. They have to show me this. People always say that she's doing a good job, but show it on paper. The numbers will speak for itself. The numbers, it's not good.
And if you were to sit down with her one-on-one, what would you say?
I have sit down with her one-on-one. I would say, look at your failing school. Put your best resources in those failing schools. Do you want to educate blacks in Charleston? We've been fighting for this for so many years. Do Charleston County really want to educate black, or they figure they still need this number of blacks to work in their white folks' house down on Broad Street?
You talk about the best resources. What do those resources look like to you?
Resources are the best teachers in the failing school. The resources for better programs, math and science programs down there. Find out what works. they were having the same problem in Atlanta, Georgia. They have it here. They solved that problem. Go to Atlanta, Georgia, and other cities and see how they turn those failure schools around. Find out how they're doing. Simply because statistics already got numbers that third grades in Title I school, in this elementary schools, are failing. They got their name on a plate in the county jail. Not only that, they drop out of school in 8th grade, they got a bullet coming at them for selling drugs. You see, so this thing run deep, real deep. And if we're gonna deal with the crime that's in our community, we must deal with that education piece. And there's not happening. It's not happening. In 2016, I went to the Justice Department in Washington, D.C. They knew all about Charleston County schools. They knew about it. They said they didn't have the manpower to deal with it. But what we have to do, and I hope people will come together, is put together the biggest lawsuit against Charleston County School for not educating all kids. Get an attorney to file that against in state court and in federal court against Charleston County.
Okay, I know you got, okay. Or is there any other solution in your mind besides lawsuits?
No, we tried everything else. We picket 75 Catalan Street. Sure. We've been in meetings, demonstrating, raising our voice to the ceiling. We did everything we can do peacefully to get Dr. Postaway and those folks down there to listen to us, to no prevail.
So who are they listening to in your mind?
I think they got interest group that they listen to. You gotta look at this whole thing. Where the large amount of money is focused.
Okay.
It's focused in Mount Pleasant and Salvador Island and all those other places. They tell me there's a school up there in Salvador Island that elementary school looking like a little college down there. I haven't seen it yet. Okay. There's a college down there. They got all sorts of programs down there at Wando High School. Why it's not at Burton? Why it's not at Garrett? Why is that not North Charleston? You got to ask yourself that.
Let me stay in Charleston County because I know the folks at the Charleston County Treasurer's Office are trying to help people with their taxes. Talk to me more about that.
Well, the Treasurer's Office is not doing anything. National Action Network had so many calls in his office about people losing their property because delinquent tax, someone trying to steal their property from them. So we had so many calls, so we went to other counties, we went to Beaufort County, okay. And we heard that Beaufort County had a installment plan there to where you can pay 6 installments starting in January, and your tax can be paid half of the year. The problem we have with people, they have to come up with a lump sum of money at the end of the year in January. Now an installment is that you can pay an installment and your tax can be paid for in 6 months. That means you have to do some sacrifices, That what it is every 2 months you pay an installment payment.
I haven't interviewed you since what, I don't know, probably this past summer sometime.
Oh, man. Yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah, you and Angela Hanyak, right in this room here, we did the joint interview. Mm-hmm. I know you couldn't endorse her at the time and whatnot, mm-hmm. And obviously now Marvin Pendarvis is a new state representative-elect. Mm-hmm. Tell me, how would you work with him on issues related to District 113?
Well, we already work together. Marvin and I, we speak, and I congratulate him, and we speak, and in his law firms, I've been helpful to that, helping him out on that, but it's no animosity against him. He don't have any holding animosity against me. I didn't endorse anybody. Right. Not at all, but I thought, and I say it again, my main concern is for the people. Mm-hmm. We knew that Seth Woodbrook didn't do anything in that seat for all those years he's been in. He couldn't do anything. What makes you think that Pendarvis can work across the line, to help those people in the district? I believe Angela could have did that, and my interest was just for the people. Mm. That's all, and that's all, and that's what we got to think about. We got to think about the people, So it didn't end up that way, but it's all right. Hope he can do a good job, and I'll be working with him. Remember, you only had 1 year in that office.
That's right, because there's another election coming up.
Another election's coming up.
Let me turn to here. You have a message for our African American women.
Exactly. I've been getting calls at my office about black women saying that the Koreans are very nasty when they go in the store. They're being followed around by them. They tell them they can't buy hair wholesale. So when they control the hair market, they control the prices. So the prices with the Korean store are inflated real high. Inflated. So I talked with Willie Wilson. He said I was having the same problem down in Chicago. So many people came to me and said the Koreans won't allow them to buy wholesale and they're nasty. So this message is all around, the same message in Atlanta. So Dr. Willie Wilson said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go seek out factories in China, which he has he owns a business in China. So he found 3 factories that will supply all the hair for blacks who wants to have their own business online, or even a brick and mortar store if they can afford it.
Right.
That factory will supply them all throughout the United States. So now it is sweeping the nation now. Chicago, Atlanta, now it's coming into South Carolina, it's in Charlotte. Now blacks can buy hair wholesale. And that's is going to increase their bottom line, especially beauticians now. When beauticians want a lot to buy wholesale, that means to tell me they got to inflate their price to the customer. Now they can buy wholesale and decrease their prices to the customer. So this is coming in South Carolina. Anybody wants to know more about it, call Elder Johnson National Life Network, and we will let you know exactly when it's coming in here in Charleston.
And obviously, Dr. Willie Wilson is a multi-million-dollar entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's about $65 million.
And he actually ran for president just recently.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And he's a very giving person. During the hurricane in Houston, Texas, he went up there in one weekend and just handed out $100,000. But what he want to do is create all the entrepreneurs that he can create to get in their own business, and that's what he's doing from here. Matter of fact, we have some samples in here now that's coming from China that he just sent to me to act like a sample kit.
Okay.
But we want people to get involved in their own hair line. You can get a young female that's working, say, a minimum wage job. If she wanted to increase her, her income,
Right.
she can set up online hair store, and sell there. And I guarantee she make more than she can do in a minimum wage job, because this is a $4 billion a year market. Not million, I said billion.
Wow.
And it's all weighed by black people.
And you talk about the African American females. Talk to me about the stories that stick out to you locally.
African American female?
Right.
I mean, in politics, they drive the economy here in South Carolina. You got beauticians.
Right.
A lot of females now have stores that they open up.
Sure.
They open up. So they help driving the economy. They just need a little handout. I wish the females here would run for office. We definitely need females to run for these city council members. And we want to make a makeover in North Charleston. Females are going to vote for females. I hope they take North Charleston completely.
Now, you mean a handout or a handout in your mind?
What and what?
As far as helping those females with the hair and what you said?
No. There's a hand. There's a hand up. When they hear, if they want to go online and open up a market, Dr. Willie Wilson will advance some of that here to them.
Okay.
And they get them started.
Okay.
Okay. He said he would do that. It only takes to get started is around $500 to get started in that market. And he will advance some here. He even told me that he would put a warehouse here.
Wow.
If the market increased. So it's not a money issue for him. It's just him helping people.
You talk about trying to change North Charleston. Do you ever consider yourself running for mayor one day?
No. I'm a civil rights man. I won't tell you I will be running in 2018, but I'm not going to tell you yet what I'm running.
You'll be calling me for an interview, I'm sure. You'll be calling me.
I'll be running in 2018, but no. I think we have 2 good candidates running, but there's a ram in the bush that everybody knows. Friend of mine, I'm not going to call his name, a good friend of mine, that we've been talking about him moving into North Charleston. If that happened, I know excite a lot of people.
Dr. Elder Johnson. Can I call you Doctor?
I mean, what you want to?
Thank you.
Brother. But it's good. Merry Christmas to
Likewise.
you. And hope you have a happy New Year, brother.
Same to you.
And Channel 5 and 4 and 2 need to look at this interview, so they need to go ahead and hire this brother right here.
Well, it's all baby steps, you know.
Well, you
from 2012 to now.
Well,
So
you've been stepping baby steps for too long. You need to get on out there, man.
we gotta trust in God.
Hey, you're all over the state now, brother.
That's true.
You know, man.
Yeah.
You got to get out there, brother.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do my best.
There's not too many of us out there look like you and me out there in that field.
Well, it's all about diversity.
How about that? If not, they're gonna hear from me.
Thank you.